Welcome to today's Explainer. As a pragmatic business mentor, I'm going to help you unpack MJ DeMarco's massively popular yet honestly pretty polarizing book, The Millionaire Fastlane. We're going to look past all those exciting, bold claims about rapid wealth and see what actually holds up to scrutiny. My goal today is just to give you a really clear, balanced perspective so you can evaluate these concepts for your own financial journey. All right, let's dive right into this.
Here's what we're looking at today. We'll hit the 5-for-2 trap, then the 3 financial roads, the survivorship bias reality, the C.E.N.T.S roadmap, and finally, shifting your money mindset. Okay, section 1, the 5-for-2 trap. Let's kick things off with a massive frustration that so many employees feel deeply when they look at traditional financial advice.
DeMarco brilliantly questions this core assumption that we all just seem to live by. Why on earth do we willingly agree to leverage 5 days of hard work just to get 2 days of weekend leisure? I mean, think about that math for a second. You're trading 80% of your week for a measly 20% of freedom? For decades, traditional advice has told us to just accept this 5-for-2 trade-off, diligently save a tiny chunk of our income in index funds, and patiently wait 40 long years to finally enjoy our wealth when we're old. DeMarco calls this a trap. He argues that it literally devours your most active, vibrant years. And honestly, it's a powerful critique. It really resonates with anyone feeling the friction of that daily grunt.
Moving to section 2, the 3 financial roads. So how exactly do you escape that trap? Well, the author outlines 3 distinct financial paths that people generally travel.
He breaks it down into 2: the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane. The sidewalk is for those living paycheck to paycheck, often drowning in debt with absolutely zero financial plan. They're just relying on hope and, lottery tickets. Then there's the slow lane. That's the traditional path we were just talking about, the diligent savers trading their time for money to hopefully get rich way down the line. But then we have the fast lane. This is the path DeMarco aggressively champions. It's designed for rapid wealth creation in just a matter of years, not decades, primarily through entrepreneurship.
Now this comparison right here, this is basically the heartbeat of DeMarco's whole thesis. He argues that the slow lane is fundamentally flawed simply because it relies on variables you absolutely cannot control. You can't control a stock market crash, you can't control corporate layoffs, and you definitely can't control inflation. You're just relying on hope and time. The fast lane, on the other hand, relies on what he calls controllable unlimited leverage. By owning a scalable business, you completely control the system, and your leverage, meaning your ability to impact a massive market, is theoretically unlimited. It's the difference between working for a wage and actually owning the machine that generates those wages.
Which brings us to section 3, the survivorship bias reality. Now, I know the fast lane sounds incredibly alluring, but as an objective mentor, this is exactly where we need to pump the brakes, pull out a calculator, and really check the math.
In the book, DeMarco makes a highly optimistic claim. He states that those following his Fastlane guidelines have a 1 in 7 or 14% chance of reaching rapid millions in just 5 years. He contrasts this with the slow lane, giving that a mere 17% chance of success over an entire lifetime. So he makes this entrepreneurial leap sound like a highly probable, deeply rational bet. But is it actually?
Well, financial reviewers and business analysts are pretty quick to point out a stark, undeniable reality here. Up to 90% of new businesses fail within 3 years. And get this, even among the 10% that actually survive, the vast majority of those merely provide a living wage to their founders. The tiny fraction that actually leads to multi-million-dollar wealth is incredibly small, like far, far less than that 14% number. Because of this, DeMarco's presentation of these probabilities is highly criticized as being dangerously misleading, especially for someone contemplating just up and quitting their steady day job. And this brings up a really vital mental model. Critics heavily argue that the book is a textbook example of survivorship bias. When a self-made millionaire writes a book, it's super easy to credit their specific mindset and hustle. But as reviewers point out, for every single MJ DeMarco out there, there are a million others who applied the exact same grit, the exact same determination, and the exact same attitude, but walked away with nothing but a maxed-out credit card and a garage entirely full of unsold inventory. A good mentor's job isn't to kill your dreams, but it is absolutely to make sure you understand the real, unvarnished odds before you wager your livelihood.
All right, section 4, the C.E.N.T.S roadmap. So if we strip away the extreme hype, the debatable math, and that survivorship bias, what actual pragmatic value can transitioning employees extract from this source material? Well, actually quite a bit. The true gold of this book isn't the promise of easy millions. Honestly, it's a strict 5-step framework that you can use to evaluate any new business idea before you go and quit your day job. This is exactly how you intelligently reduce your risk.
This is the C.E.N.T.S framework. It's an acronym standing for Control, Entry, Need, Time, and Scale. Let's break down exactly what these 5 crucial steps mean and how you should be applying them to your prospective ventures to make sure they actually have real fast lane potential.
First up is control. You absolutely must own your system completely. If your entire business relies on another company's platform, say an affiliate marketing program, or a specific social media algorithm, you're basically driving in someone else's fast lane, and they can revoke your access at any second. Second is entry. Barriers to entry must be high. If a business takes you 10 minutes in filling out a quick online form to join, it totally violates this rule. Easy entry just means a flooded market. You want to build a business that is genuinely difficult to replicate.
Third is need. Your business has to solve a genuine market pain point. Look, nobody cares about your desire to be rich, they only care about what you can do for them. Fourth is time. You have to eventually build systems, hire people, or use technology that completely detaches your personal time from your generated income. If you're just trading hours for dollars, you haven't actually created a business, you've just created another job for yourself.
And finally, we have scale. DeMarco introduces this concept called the law of affection. Basically, it dictates that to make millions, you must impact millions of lives. You need a business model with absolutely unlimited growth potential. If you own a local sandwich shop, your scale is capped by your neighborhood. But if you invent a software solution that literally any restaurant in the world can download, now your scale is effectively limitless.
Which brings us to our final section, shifting your money mindset. Because using this C.E.N.T.S roadmap fundamentally changes how you view the entire world of business.
You have to switch teams entirely. Think about it. Most people are consumers. They buy products, they watch TV, they pay for value, and they wait around for lucky events to change their financial status. To succeed here, you must adopt the mindset of a producer. You've got to actively build processes, solve problems, create value, and sell solutions. Instead of buying the latest gadget, figure out how to sell the accessories for it. That is the defining shift from the slow lane right into the fast lane.
And you know what's really interesting? This is a point of total consensus. Even DeMarco's harshest critics, the ones fiercely calling out his math and survivorship bias, they completely agree with this foundational rule. Stop chasing money and start chasing needs. Businesses built purely on a founder's selfish desire for wealth almost always crumble. But businesses that provide real value, ease a frustration, or solve a distinct pain point, those are the businesses that actually survive and thrive. So as you look at those ideas you've been sketching out on napkins lately, I want to leave you with this mentor's challenge. Are you just chasing money to escape your 9-to-5? Or are you genuinely solving a need that the market is absolutely begging for? Your honest answer to that question will determine whether you're building a real business or just financing a fleeting dream.